Hi friends, my name is Aqil Ahmed, and in this particular video I will show you how to use the Microsoft Azure platform for creating the Microsoft Azure SQL Server and then creating a Microsoft SQL Server database on Azure platform. Microsoft Azure platform is a cloud-based platform where you can host your SQL Server database on the cloud. You can create a SQL Server and then you can create multiple SQL databases into the logical server, and then you can access the databases around the globe. In case you don't want to create your own data center, you don't want to have your own servers, your own hardware, you don't want to have a maintenance for that particular server, so in that particular case you can go with the Microsoft Azure platform and you can rent a server from Microsoft, and you can pay for that particular server on monthly basis. So in this very first video I will show you how to create a Microsoft Azure SQL server and then how to create a Microsoft SQL server database into the logical server. So to create a server on the Microsoft Azure, first of all you need to log into the portal.azure.com website with your credentials, and then after logging into the site you need to search for SQL servers. So once you will search for SQL servers, in this particular box you will get an option SQL server, so click on this particular icon SQL servers. So this particular window will show up. So I already have a server, eVirtual Labs 2, that is the status of this particular SQL server is available, and the location of this server is Southeast Asia. So we have locations for around the globe, and this is my subscription. To create a new SQL server, just click on the add button. So now here we need to give the name of the server, so maybe we can put it like learn SSIS. So this will be our server name. So server name is available. Server name should be unique around the globe, so we cannot have two servers with the same name. Put the username, so we can create our own SQL admin login, so maybe we can name it as SQL admin, and then we can provide a password, retype the password. This is my subscription. Create a resource group. So either we can create a new resource group or we can use the existing one. Actually resource group is a particular location where we want to create our own SQL server. So it's a location, maybe it can be in the India or outside of India or in the US, West US, so we can create our own new resource group as well. You can think of resource group like a container. At that particular container the SQL server will reside. So just type a name of the resource group like learn SSIS resource group RG, okay, and leave the location as West US. We are fine with that. Click create. So this should create a new logical SQL server on the Azure platform, and then we will configure the SQL server, logical server, so that we can access the server from using the SQL Server Management Studio. So right now the server is being deployed to the Azure platform, so it will take couple of minutes to deploy it. Okay, so the SQL server has been deployed. Now to check the new SQL server, just click on the refresh. So you can see that our new server learn SSIS is available in the West US location. To configure the learn SSIS, click on this particular server, and to be able to access this server from our SQL Server Management Studio from our local machine, just click on the firewall. We need to configure the firewall setting. So we by default we cannot access the Azure SQL Server from the management studio until we don't allow a particular IP address or a series of IP addresses to access the server. So click on add client IP. So this has added my IP address to the firewall. So now we can access this particular SQL server from my own machine. Then click on the save button. This should save the settings. Okay, then we are good here. So now we can access this particular server from our local machine. Okay, and then to create a new database, go to this blade, click on the SQL databases. So right now there are no databases available here. So to create a new database, click on this add button, and then we need to give a database name. So maybe we can give it as my test db. The name of the database will be my test db, and we are going to use the resource group that we just created, learn SSIS RG. And now it's asking the source of the database. Are you going to create a blank database, or are you going to create a database with sample AdventureWorks LT? So for this particular exercise, I'm just going to create a blank database, and then we need to choose this SQL server, on which server you want to create this database. So in this particular case, we are going to use the learn SSIS server, where we want to create this particular database. And the SQL Elastic Pool thing we will discuss later. And in the pricing tier, and there are several pricing tiers ranging from S1, S2 and so on. So in this particular case, I will choose the S1 because it's the very basic one, and for this demo purpose I'm going to use the basic one, because I don't want to spend much money on choosing a higher pricing tier for this particular demo. So I chose the basic one. We have like standard as well, premium and the premium RS. So these are like, for example, 7,600 for 1 month, but the basic one will cost just 329 rupees for a month. So I think it's okay. It's providing us 2 GB of storage, and 5 basic DTUs. DTUs are data transformation units. And then so we are good here with the with this particular pricing tier. So click on the apply. So now this is the basic pricing tier, and the collision, leave the collision as default. Click on the create to create the new SQL database on the Azure platform. So this should create the my test db blank database. So right now the database is being created. So once the database will be created, you should get a notification that it has successfully created the database. And once the database will be created, then we will access the SQL server and the database from the management studio. Okay, so our database has been created successfully, and to see the newly created database, click on the refresh button. So you should see that my test db database has been created, and right now it's online, and the server name is learn SSIS, and the pricing tier is the basic, and the location is West US. So now we need to access the SQL server. So just check the full name of the SQL server, as the SQL Server Management Studio needs the full name. So the full name of the server is, to get the full name, just click on the properties under the SQL server name, click on properties, and you will get the full name from here, learn ssis.database.windows.net. So this is the server name. So just open the management studio, connect database engine, and then put the Azure SQL server name here. And under the authentication, you need to provide the authentication, the username and the password that you used when you created the SQL server on the Azure. So our SQL server name is SQL admin. Provide the password. So we are connected to the Azure SQL server here. expand the databases. So you can see the my test DB is available here, but right now it doesn't have any tables because it's blank database. So it doesn't have any tables right now. So this is the basic thing, like how we can create a SQL server on the Azure platform, and then how we can create a blank database on the Azure one. So I think that's it for this particular video, and in the next video I will show you how to upload data to a Azure database using SSIS. So thanks guys for watching the video, and if you like the video then please click the like button and do subscribe to our channel to see more videos on SSIS and related technologies. Thank you.